Yet again, we need a new theme song.
Well, the top side streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a Lake so Stan and a guy who really likes baseball. I don't know why he likes baseball.
What is up, everybody? We are back on NFL All Day. That's the one tricky thing I've noticed where we say it's NFL All Day. But I'm excited to talk about a lot of foosball stuff, if you will, today. We got a fun guest that we're going to go over all the different types of ways we can utilize our NFL All Day moments. So let's see, who do we have here today? We got Jay Blaze, Devlar, the Mr. All-Star, Rowdy Rod's in the house. Weeda Peeps is here. Ryan, JT Collection, Stubbs, Rad Dad, Borland, Sneeps, Artemis. Who else? Airplane Mode, Jump Shoot Regulator, Norm, Storm and Norman, Matty Harrison, Top Shot, Common Man. 90 degrees already. Let me see. I'll give you. It's 84. 84 in New York right now. Foster's here. 90s fan. Jamesy in the house. Tommy, Welch, Fenny, Jonathan, Josh, Jay Blaze already said you Ghostface Driller. PPE is up early. Wow. Artemis, Courtside, Doc Delta, Joke Rock, Dick, Chuck, Travis, To the House. I don't know. Sydney Cove, Anthony Reagan. Did I get everybody? You guys feel good now? Daniel D. Cruz Navas. What is good? Serge is here. We get a good morning from Tyler Hero. Wow. You know what? Fuck it. Let's give you a little Tyler. This is the last basketball thing you're going to get today. Okay. The last basketball thing you're going to get. All right, that's it. Focus now. It's football time. I'm excited. We're gonna bring on TJ from All the Moment. TJ, what's going on, man?
Hello. Football Wednesdays.
Love
the new routine.
I know. I think as we, I was gonna say as we hit August, but honestly, it's gonna be post wedding. I think once I come back from the wedding, we'll start doing two footballs a week to beef it up a little bit as we get closer to the season. And then who knows? Regulator asks if we have any football videos. We don't have any football videos. Not yet. But DJ, man, what's going on? You guys have been freaking busy over there.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. A lot of football focused stuff.
Yeah.
Jolly Jokers Rumble, TOC. So it's been a busy couple of months and kind of all coming to a head here the next couple of weeks leading into football season.
Yeah, I feel like when's the last time you guys have gone 48 hours without an announcement? Like even today, as I was drafting the tweet for today's show and I hit send, all of a sudden I was like, you guys sent something out. I was like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot to put TOC on here as things to talk about. And that's how much stuff you guys have going on right now. It's exciting.
Yeah, this was kind of intentionally like, okay, announcement week, get all the info out there, and then now spend the next couple of weeks making sure that people fully understand all the rules, everything that we've said, because we've got them locked down internally, but it still takes a while to kind of really get across all of the things, and it's connecting the dots between the Jokers and the games, and just trying to help people understand what we've got going on, but really excited about all of it for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know, A, if you have this readily available because we didn't talk about this, or B, if you have it at all. But can you guys see or is there more activity on your NFL All Day side of things like recently versus NBA Top Shot? Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just curious if there's like the momentum is moving towards all day as well as the football season's coming around.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a lot of momentum around all day since day one. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, the highest trafficked day on our site ever was like right when NFL All Day was launching, and
Wow.
especially right when they launched their first challenge. We
Yeah.
saw like a massive spike there. So definitely see the appetite for All Day, and definitely see new people coming in for All Day too. Right? Obviously, there's the Top Shot people that are also into NFL All Day, but a whole
Right.
new group that is kind of coming in for football. So we're super pumped about that. And I feel like it's only going to increase as the season starts, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, sometimes I forget that they're still in like private beta, right?
I
So
know.
they haven't even pushed All Day to the masses. And yeah, I feel good about All Day. And I mean, Top Shot's been back on the up a little bit here.
Yeah.
The post Vegas bump.
Post Vegas
So
bump.
things are looking good overall, and hopefully this momentum just kind of continues into the seasons.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited about that too. Also, just sharing Coop, dude. I'll bring TJ on like 2 or 3 times a week if this is the energy you're gonna bring in here, Coop. We love this. Thank you, man. It's very generous. Yeah, I'm excited too. I think we do forget it's in closed beta, and I always remember every time I go to put a message in the NFL All Day Discord, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It says like in the closed beta general over there. But I've been trying to like temper my just try to stay not just like level-headed about it as we continue to grow, but you can definitely see like some momentum around it. They've been making like some solid moves. Like just like slow does it, but like steady moves. You know what I mean? Like the celebration packs yesterday, I thought was like a good nod, like a different way to get some of that supply out that didn't get out there. And I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like once the regular season starts, because I imagine they have some like fun things that are coming in the run up of late August into week 1. So I'm looking forward to what that's going to look like. But
yeah, agreed. I think I'm pretty excited about it, and I think also like tempering expectations, right? Of like success for Top Shot or All Day doesn't mean like, oh, all of our moments are worth 10 times more than they were when we bought them. Like it's more just a fun, engaging platform where there's things to do and reasons to be on the site and reasons to be engaging.
Absolutely.
That's kind of, I feel like that's what jaded a lot of Top Shot people is they come in as like, oh, this is how I'm going to get rich. Perfect. I'm going to buy all this stuff and sit back and get rich. And then that didn't happen. I feel like hopefully at that point, that kind of,
right. That thought process.
No one has that expectation anymore.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope not. But speaking of like other things to do, like with NFL All Day, you guys announced OTM Rumble. Did that come out Monday or was it last week? Monday.
Yep, that was on Monday.
So a lot of information came out there. I'll actually drop a link in the chat if you guys want to like follow along. You guys drop some roster construction, scoring, and rules and stuff. But for those that can't read, what was give us like a brief breakdown of what this game's going to look like.
Yeah. So really excited about Rumble. It's going to be a game where we add utility to the NFL All Day moments. So every week you'll be able to create your Rumble roster, which is kind of a standard roster construction that you've seen in the past. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, which could be running back, wide receiver, or tight end, and then 1 spot that we're calling the DST plus. So that's kind of one of the unique things about the game, right? With All Day, you've got individual defensive player moments. You've also got punters and kickers and offensive linemen and team melts. And so what we decided to do was kind of create 1 roster spot that's a bit of a catch-all for any of those moments, and then you play that player in your DST plus position, and then once they're put in that position, they just score kind of according to a standard team defense for whatever team the moment is associated with. And then we also just added a little wrinkle of a 3-point bonus for a win. So if the team you put in your DST plus gets the win, you also score 3 additional points there.
I was curious how you guys are going to do that too. I like that just because I think it would have been so much work and it would have just been like tough to figure out, like, are you taking a cornerback, like doing an IDP? I just think it would have been way too much work. And like from week to week, things would just be all over the place. So I love the idea. It's just a little bit easier to digest and understand. So I think that was a good call.
Yeah, that was kind of the main idea is like, we want it to be super simple to come in and create your lineup. And if all of a sudden you've got to study like which defensive linemen and which cornerbacks are the proper plays this week, I feel like it just creates a bit of enough of a barrier where some people be like, I don't feel like doing that. I'm not going to play now.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's something in the future that we can explore. Of course, the hardcore people are like, why don't we have IDP? And then, the other thing is we have the Rumble hero. So each lineup will have one hero spot. So basically you can use a rare or legendary moment and then get 1.25x the points with a max of 1 per lineup. So of course with that, the people that owned a lot of rares were like, you should be able to use more than one. And then people that don't have rares are like, you shouldn't be able to use any rares. But I think landing on one hero spot was a good thing too. We wanted it to be like provide a boost to rare and legendary, but also not make it like an insurmountable thing where people that don't own rares and legendaries have no chance.
Yeah. One of the things I really like that you guys did too, and for those of you that played TOC last year, one of like the best parts of that fantasy experience was that, so lineups lock Sunday at 1:00. But a lot of times we'll have most weeks we'll have a Thursday night game that kicks off. And what I loved about it is that like we already had the result before Sunday, before the lineups lock. So you could, if the game went nuts, you're like, man, I'm probably going to need a player or a team from Thursday night in order to even have a shot. And then if everyone else is doing that, then you're like, okay, maybe we got to fade. So it was this fun, like fantasy strategy, but also there was the market speculation of what was happening too. So you saw people buying up Thursday night teams on Wednesday. And then if there was like a interception for a touchdown in like the first half, all of a sudden that moment is like, or the card on TOC was like going through the roof. And I think there's going to be a lot of fun speculating with that this year.
Yeah, that was definitely something that we wanted to bring over from TOC. Got a lot of positive feedback on it. I mean, it's just, it creates fun, right? And like, maybe it creates, it takes away some of the quote unquote purity of like projections equals the result. But like, this is a different kind of game, right? There is a marketplace element, and that's part of the game, part of the strategy. And so, like you said, I think I even saw as soon as this week, people were like, oh, we got to check out the Thursday schedules ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it fun. It drives up the marketplace, gets some activity going. And then like the thing that I like about it is that it creates a marketplace dynamic where like both people think that they're getting one over on the other person. Right. So like, Kyle Pitts goes off on a Thursday night and I own a Kyle Pitts and I sell him to you. And I'm like, ha, sucker. I just sold my Kyle Pitts for, $80.
Yeah.
And then you're like, ha, sucker. I just locked in 30 points into my lineup. So like, anytime you're creating that situation where both people are happy, like why not?
Yeah, and like even if Rumble isn't your bag, even if that's something you're like, oh, I don't really care so much about that, you're still going to see like market movement based on those things, and I think that's just fun. I think that's a good time. Borland had a question about the hero spot, I didn't look into the answer of this. So is the hero spot reserved as one of your regular position plays, or is it like an extra play? So like, do you fill the lineup in and then add one more for the hero? How does that work?
Yep, good question. It's just on top of so it's the existing lineup. So you could select, your quarterback to be your hero or one of your running backs to be your hero. And how it will work like in the app is that if you just select one rare or legendary, it will automatically be inputted as the hero. And then if you decide to put in, so you can use multiple heroes and rares and legendaries, but only one of them can be designated as that spot.
Awesome. And now is this being done like, because I in the blog, I know you guys mentioned, so this will like connect to your Dapper wallet, right? So like as you're filling in your lineup, you're connected to your Dapper wallet, so it'll know if you have the moment or not. You can only play the moments that you have. Is this like just done through the OTM site, or did you have to build like another platform for it?
Yeah, it's another platform essentially. So similar to how the Owners Club is TOC. .otm NFT, it'll be rumble.otm NFT. So just kind of a separate subdomain within our website.
And you won't have to like on the fly build a whole marketplace either, right?
Yeah, that's going to be nice. That's nice. The marketplace stuff gets handled. It's a lot simpler. We just have to verify what you own, allow you to create your lineup, submit, add up the points. So a little less complexity than the Owners Club.
Has there been like since the announcement, has there been like one or two questions that you've seen like come in the most? Like, is there any sort of feedback that you've gotten that there people are like, when this, what this, or is it mostly just like, yeah, how much is the Dapper Balance prize?
Most most of the feedback has been pretty positive. I feel like the question around the DST Plus and just like IDP and that has been the most common thing coming up of like, oh, well, did you consider this or consider that? Or there you go, Justin.
Yeah,
in chat.
I'll take it. So I'm the hero here. I had 1.25.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been the main thing. Some people asked about like the Thursday night wrinkle thing that maybe didn't play TOC, but yeah, I just tried to like I jumped in the all day Discord shortly after, tried to answer any questions.
Nice.
I've always found that that's a good way to get to the people. Like I just saw that they were talking about it, so I just jump in, ask questions, and then someone will go from like asking a and then you give them an answer and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much. Like, yeah, they're not actually like angry about anything. They're just firing away at the keyboard. So I like to do that. Puts a little personal touch and gets people. Yeah.
I know too. We'll talk about the Jokers a little bit later in the show. But one of the perks of the Jokers is that you get to test this out during the preseason a little bit. You'll have access to the Rumble in the preseason. How is that going to work? Only because I was thinking about this after that was announced, because I was like, oh, it's dope that we're going to be able to test it out. And I was like, I don't even know how many of the moments on the NFL All Day site will be active in preseason. I mean, I guess they'll be playing a little bit, but is it just, I mean, like, and maybe it's just like lower scoring because those guys are only going to play a little bit, right? But what was is it still going to work the same way?
Yeah, when it comes to the beta access, like we're not trying to frame this up as like, oh, massive dollar up for grabs in preseason, like huge EV if you buy a Joker and get beta access. It really is more just for testing it, getting a first look at the platform. It'll work exactly the same. We'll throw some like small prizes in there, but it's not, don't go out trying to optimize for who's going to be killing it in the third preseason game of the season or anything like that. It's really just to kind of test out functionality, make sure everything's going, get any feedback directly from people. And that's just kind of something that we're planning to have as a thing going forward, right? Of giving those people that own the Jokers first access to new products, help us test them out, get the feedback, and really, make it feel like we're building alongside with the community, because like if we're building a game that people don't want to play, then that's pointless to begin with, right? So we want to make sure that people are involved and that we're meeting all their needs and expectations.
Yeah. For Rumble too, just like to kind of put a button on this, it's like a single entry tournament, right? So you're only entering it one time. You can only make one lineup. And is it one contest per week? Is that what's being rolled out?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, to start, it's just gonna be one contest, one lineup. So it's like you're literally just making your Rumble lineup for the week, and it'll lock at 1 o'clock. There's no late swap or anything like that. Yeah. I guess that was another thing that came up, is some people were like, late swap, which, again, I get it for more of the hardcore people, but like there's also something to the simplicity of like, I can make my lineup on Friday afternoon and then just like submit it and not have to worry about it again until I do or don't win.
Yeah,
that was really
I get it, but I keep, and we'll start talking about TOC now. But I think like the strategy kind of changed a little bit too with it, and I think like sure, you can't do late swap, but you also have information from Thursday night already, right? Which I think is, that's how you get different, in my opinion. I think like figuring out how to handle the information that we've already received, unless it's like a dud game, right? If it's like 7-3 or whatever, then it probably doesn't come into play. But anytime two teams score 20 plus points each, and now all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, what is this? How's this total going to compare to other totals we're going to see this week? And then like figuring out how popular it's going to be. Also we the people. I don't want to. Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought it was like, don't yell at Super Draft. Yeah, so it's on the OTM platform, so you don't have to, just because you're in New Jersey, it doesn't mean you can't use the site. Like I know New Jersey, I think Pennsylvania is one of those, maybe Ohio, where it's a little bit tricky to use some of those sites, but no, you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. But yeah, let's talk about TOC a little bit. So I know you guys just announced that's kicking off in August, right? With Best Ball.
Yeah. So TOC, I can kind of give the high level for people that maybe did not play last year, aren't familiar, but it's the game we created where it's a Web3 fantasy football game. You purchase NFTs directly from our website. Those are reflective of a city and a position in football. So that's kind of one of the unique things, is that it's not based on individual players. It's by entire position groups. So,
Right.
you know, you own the Dallas wide receiver, you score points for the entire Dallas position group, all of the wide receivers there. There were 4 different contests last year that we ran every week. In total, we did just around $1.5 million in prizes, which was awesome,
crazy.
including our playoff best ball contest. And yeah, so we're gonna be kicking things off with best ball. Best ball we did for the playoffs last year. Thought it was super successful. People really liked it. We sold like 8,000 packs in 3 days, which was cool.
I think
So,
Pete and I made up like 2,000 of those.
yeah, they're fun, man. And like the user experience is like at least 10 times better this year than last year. Like, it's going to be super cool. Really excited to get that out. But in that game, yeah, you open up a pack, it's just going to cost $10. So we're going with the cheap price point there. Pack $10. You open it up, there's 20 cards in there. Of the 20, you select your 12 card lineup, and then you don't have to do anything else from there. Each week, we just automatically input your optimal lineup of 6, similar to like Underdog, Best Ball. And yeah, that's gonna be dropping in August.
So one of the cool things that I know you guys talked about, I don't know if it actually was implemented during the playoffs, and I don't know if you are thinking about doing it for the regular season, but because you basically mint it as an NFT, right? So the 20 cards come out, you pick 12, right? 12. You pick 12 and you mint that. That's now your NFT. That's the lineup that you submit. Will there be like secondary marketplace for these? Because I know that was something we talked about, right? So if you're like 2 weeks into the playoffs, your lineup's looking good, and you're like, well, I might be able to get like $300 for this right now. Is that something that's going to be implemented?
Yes. Yep. There'll be a secondary marketplace as well. And we're looking to embed that like directly into the leaderboard as well.
Awesome. That's so good.
You could, check out the leaderboard and see that the lineup that's in 4th place is listed for $200, and you can decide to go buy that for $200. And now you own that lineup, and you own the upside of potentially winning more than the $200 or whatever that you spent on it. So I think that creates a really fun thing, and something that we haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna be cumulative points as well over the 18 weeks. So that's one thing that is, I know when people talk about like Underdog, Best Ball, everyone is just talking about week 17 and stacking and the playoffs and this and that. This is just straight up like most points accumulated over the course of the season. No, like 1 week matters more than another week.
Right. No, that's going to be exciting. I mean, the best ball, like, and as Borland said too, that was his entry point. I think like the $10 entry point. Also, like I can totally understand if this is your first time, like making the jump from like your traditional fantasy football to like a Web3 NFT type fantasy football. I could totally see like the not fully understanding like the position thing, and like for $10 to just do that, I think is like a nice entryway into it. So I'm excited. So that's coming out the first week of August. Is that right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. Best ball coming first week of August, and we're gonna have there's gonna be 2 contests as well.
Okay.
So how that will work is that the first contest will open. It'll be open, I think, for 2 weeks is the plan, and then that will close. So it's basically like you buy and mint packs for. We're calling it the early bird contest.
Cool.
So you buy and mint packs for that. That will have its own separate prize pool, etc. And then in mid-August, the main event for best ball will open. So another contest would begin. And kind of the reasoning for that is that, otherwise you could technically buy all your packs in early August and then just not mint any of them until like the first week of September. And so that's kind of, creating different staggered timelines. And okay, everyone's locking in and minting their lineups early on with information, and then getting the second contest later. And then there's also the 3 contests that are related to the Joker mint incentive.
Yeah, that makes sense. The other thing too that I wanted to ask about, just like the scoring. I know one of the issues, not issues, but one of the like tough things probably on your end was like the live updating of scoring. And like some week, because I think best ball, I think with TOC, you guys are pretty good. It was a pretty in the moment, but I know best ball was a little bit harder. Is that something that you guys had to work on in the off season a little bit? Yeah,
we actually switched our sports data provider, so we kind of upgraded a bit, if you will.
Here you go.
Last year it was mostly fine. There were a couple things with our provider last year that were like always an issue.
Yeah.
Like, so like
defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, some defensive touchdown. Be like, oh, anytime there's a defensive touchdown, we're like, well,
wait till Monday.
This is because, and also the way it was set up was that it would like automatically overwrite. So it's like we could manually update it, but then it's going to get overwritten anyway.
Every
so that's
time.
why I was like, wait till Monday. So we'll have that resolved for for this year. And then, best ball should have relatively live scoring as well. Best
Nice.
balls, it's a little more complicated because you're like swapping the
Right,
the
and you're, like,
scores in and out.
right.
But at least updating the best ball weekly for sure.
Yeah.
Like at the end of each week, having an updated standing, which I think is most important for best ball. I think during the day, it's like kind of whatever.
It doesn't matter. Let's talk about the season-long TOC as well, because that and Pete and I talk about this all the time. That's probably the most fun I had in fantasy last year, was messing around with those lineups. And again, because of like the Thursday night thing where like you already have that information, the fact that you're like, you're so wired in on trying to figure out like ownership projections and stuff like that. And it's even trickier when you've got like a smaller pool, right? Because you're not picking individual wide receivers, you're just picking a team of wide receivers. So like figuring out where everyone's going to go. But then there's a limited amount. It's not like everyone can pick the Buffalo wide receiver core. There's only, I forget what it was, like 200, 360, something.
Yeah,
like
there were 300 last year. There were 310 of each.
Yeah. So we had so much fun, and then for that to lead to both a live final and an online final, it was a really good time. And I saw in the announcement too, it's that you guys are rolling out a few more contests. So what's that? Take us through what the season long regular season TOC is going to look like.
Yeah. So regular season packs will be going on sale like late August, early September. They'll be $99 per pack. So
nice.
Also kind of took down the price point there. They were $200 last year.
Mm-hmm.
In the pack, you get 5 cards, one of each position. So quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense. And then each week we have 4 contests and then a 5th contest that is called the OGs contest with the first edition cards. So
let's go.
The 4 contests, the main event, 5 card lineup. You play one of each position. So the most simple way you can play is you can buy 1 pack and then just enter 1 main event lineup every single week for $99. So kind of the most simplistic way to do it. And then there's also the side hustle where you select 2 cards in the lineup. Then there's the low ball, which was a fun addition that we did last year, where the worst score actually wins each week, and that's a 5-card lineup. And then the island of misfit cards, so a 2-card game where you pick one tight end and 1 defense for those 4 cards that just aren't getting enough action,
Yeah, those are so fun, man. Like the best sweat I had last year was that like last week of the I think it was the online final, and I think I was going into Sunday night was like in contention for the first place prize, and they're just like the swings in it were so fun, and the lineup construction, like all of it. I really had a good time. I like that too, that the price point came down a little bit. I think that was smart, just to make it a little bit more easily accessible. Now, is that so? I know, and we're going to talk about Jokers next. So I know Joker's going to connect to Dapper. I know Rumble will be like connected to Dapper. Now, is what you're doing with TOC, is that still going to be on its separate thing, or is that now connected to the Dapper wallet as well?
That is now going to be connected to the Dapper wallet as well.
No shit.
Yeah, so we're moving TOC from Polygon to Flow.
Wow.
So you'll be able to buy TOC packs with your OTM balance that you already have, or with your Dapper balance.
That's great.
So you'll have both of those options. The payouts will still come in the OTM balance, and then once you have them in the OTM balance, you can use that there too. But like I think it's just going to be so big for new user acquisition. I mean, let's be honest, it was a freaking pain to try and sign up for the Owners Club last year. Like you had to have a MetaMask wallet, which some people don't have. And then you have to, add the Polygon network, and then you have to like understand what network you're connected to. And like, they were just, that was the biggest barrier to onboarding last year. And so by moving to Flow, like you just need a Dapper account, credit card, email address, and you can come in and buy TOC packs and buy off the marketplace too.
That I do. I think you're right. I think you're going to see a lot of new people because of that, because it's a little bit easier. Like, especially for best ball too, with it only being $10, and people are like, oh, I've got like $30 and I don't really want it. There's nothing I really want to see. So let's fire off a few. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. All right. I feel like that. So we cover what I was trying to do was hit all the things before we got to Jokers, since the Jokers encompass all of those things. So I guess the last thing we can talk about before we pivot to the Jokers, because I think this is the biggest selling point of the Jokers, is so OTM Premium's like right around the corner as well, right?
Yes. Yep.
And so OTM, like when you look at the OTM site, here, let me see if I can pull it. Let's pull it up and we'll look at NFL all day because this is the all day show. But when you look at it, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, you can see the little P's, right? So we get the challenges for the sniper. I know I'm forgetting some other stuff that's probably not live yet as well. But talk to us a little bit about what OTM Premium means and like what that'll look like.
Yeah. So OTM Premium is going to be going live in August as well, kind of shortly after the Jokers drop. And so when that happens, the challenges, the new Flash Challenge terminal, the sniper, the like data exports, all of that stuff will be going behind paywall. So you'll either need to sign up for a subscription, like traditional subscription with a credit card, or if you own a Jolly Joker, you just, again, you're connecting your Dapper wallet, logging in, we're able to verify that you own a Joker, and then you're able to access behind paywall stuff in that way. And so, but then, there's still plenty of stuff that is going to remain free as well. Basically, how we decided to kind of distinguish it is the free stuff is like the more informational. So like your account valuation, team and set completions, the market movement, right? All of that kind of strictly informative stuff. And then the premium tools are the more like heavily edge seeking with the challenges, high engagement. And like, a lot of it comes down to I think we have a high quality product that is worthy of a subscription. And like B, it hasn't been cheap to build what we've built.
Yeah.
And we, I think there's a common misconception too that I see in Discord sometimes of like, oh, Dapper is throwing millions and millions at Own the Moment. And like, I can confirm that's 0% the case. We've built this all on our own with our own bucks. And, if we want to keep adding nice features, we need to have a little bit of a business model behind it as well.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I think anybody that comes from like the fantasy sports world, it makes a ton of sense too. Cause that is kind of that's what we do. Mike B was asking us, the sniper's still going to be free. That is actually, you can just see if it's got a little P next to it on there, that's going to be part of the premium product. So the sniper is in there. The Flash Challenge terminal will be in there and some other stuff as well. One of the things, so for the price point, what is that looking like annually?
Yeah. So the annual price point is $200 per year. It starts with an early bird special of $150 per year. And then it's I think it's like $8.99 weekly and $19.99 monthly.
Oh, I like that there's a couple of different ways to do that too. And it's not just annually. I didn't realize that there's multiple ways.
Weekly, monthly, annual, and then the lifetime access with the Jolly Jokers.
Yeah, and so and we can pivot to Jokers now because I think like especially with kind of how the market is and just like NFTs in general, what I like about being able to talk about the Jokers is that it's not I'm not saying like it's not like a speculative thing and like, oh, you're gonna get this to make some money, like that's why we're gonna do this, to make some money. And I think what I really liked about the Jokers price point, because it's going to be $299. That if you just the premium alone, if you're like, I'm planning on buying this thing and holding it for like 5 years, you like automatically make value out of it, right? Because just from the premium service alone, like take away every other piece of utility that comes with this. Like if you're planning on getting the premium annually, you just get this. You just get the Joker because it's a discount on the annual subscription. Like that's why it was a no-brainer to me, because I know I'm someone that's going to use the premium because I'm a degenerate and this is what I do. I like things that I'm involved with. I pay for premium services. So to me, it's a no-brainer. So I think the Jolly Joker thing, the coolest thing about that is like, hey, like it's almost like it's not like the First Mints NFT, but the idea of like, hey, do you want to support the product that we're creating for you guys? Here's the way to do it, and we'll give you a little something with it as well. So, but now that I gave my pitch on why I think it's dope, talk to us a little bit about Jolly Jokers.
No, I think that's a great pitch there. Yeah, we definitely wanted it to be a heavy kind of utility based thing. We've for probably over a year now have talked about the idea of launching an NFT or a PFP type of collection. Went back and forth on it a couple times last year, decided not to do it, ended up building out like TOC, continue to build out the analytics platform. And then it just kind of made sense of like, all right, let's do things in a bit of the opposite way, where I feel like, all these NFT projects are launching and selling the NFT with the promise of the utility that they're going to eventually provide.
Right.
Only a small percentage of which actually ends up coming to fruition. And it's like, okay, let's build out the utility first and then build the PFP around the utility. So that's what we've got with the OTM premium. Completely agree. I mean, even if you're not like a PFP NFT person or whatever, if you plan on getting premium, like it really is kind of a no-brainer to just pick up a Joker and log in that way.
Yeah.
And then there's also some utility with the owners club. So the idea of token gated contests. So we're starting that off with a mint incentive where people that mint Jolly Jokers get access to 3 different best ball tournaments with 100K worth of prizes. But then also like that idea of token gated contests is something that we plan to lean on to into the future. We also have the community partners aspect where people like Team Hold, and I think we got 30 plus different communities now having like cross community competitions, leaderboards. We already had our first one with the Open Championship last weekend. We got like 550 people that entered that golf tournament. So that kind of created some fun there.
That's
then
great.
Also doing some like, in real life game ticketing events types of things.
Yeah.
And really just trying to, create that community around people that are sitting right at the intersections of sports and Web3. And, I think we're going to provide a lot of value to holders in the ecosystem. And that's our goal.
And to talk about the community partnerships just a little bit, I just, live update. Team Hold is still smoking everybody, and then we've got like 140 reactions over there. So Momentum Labs can suck it. Who are in second, and then there's like a distant third. I can't even see who's in third. It's so far away. Yeah, a good question too by actually, we had a couple good questions here. Borland, I'm going to get yours in a second because I think that was good. Norman said, is TOC also available for international users?
It is, yes.
There we go. Hell yeah, Norm. And then Borland, this is a good question too, because I was wondering this. So will the Jokers be available until they sell out? Or do you like, assuming they sell out, obviously they're gone. But if they don't sell out right away, do you guys have a cutoff date, or we just kind of let it go for a little bit and see, kind of figure that out when you get there?
Yeah, no planned cutoff date at the time. If we end up in that situation, we'll definitely react accordingly. But yeah.
And same thing too with the token gated contest, because they know that there was, like you said, the 100K and prizes up for grabs for and those are for best ball, right? Those are for like best ball contests.
The best ball contest, yep.
Is also very exciting. Like that got me pretty pumped up. Is that also sellout dependent?
Like that actually is not sellout dependent. No.
Okay.
So that's available no matter what. So like if it's a spot where it's not selling out, I mean, there's definitely an extra mint incentive there because it's kind of like an overlay DFS type of spot where there's 3 different tiers of tournaments. So basically we have and we're calling them the extra point, the field goal, and the touchdown. So the extra point is just for every Joker that you mint, you get 1 entry, 1 best ball pack into the extra point contest.
Yeah.
And then for people that mint 3 or more Jokers, you get 1 entry into the field goal contest, which has 50K in prizes. So I think that's a pretty high value contest there. And then if you mint 6 or more Jokers, you get into the touchdown contest with another 20K in prizes. Wow. So yeah, like if you minted 6, for example, just so it's clear to everyone, you would then get 1 entry into the touchdown because it's 1 entry max, 1 entry into the field goal, and then you would get your 6 entries into the extra point.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I like that too. Because I was going to ask, that was going to be my next question. Because honestly, early on, I was like, I don't really think like it makes sense to mint more than 1. I was just like, you get it for that premium, you get it for the access to the contest. But that was going to be my question. Like, what are some of the incentives to maybe get more than 1? And that, I mean, getting especially 3 into that 50K contest, because there's going to be far less people in that one than in the, the extra point. So that's definitely some incentive. Is there anything else where it, there's like a reason that we should be grabbing maybe a couple Jokers?
Yeah. I mean, so that's definitely the immediate incentive, right? Is those contests. And then also like similarly with future potential token gated contests, right? So like we held that one with the Open. It was just one entry per person. In the future, could see us running contests like that, and depending on how many jokers you get more bullets at it, more darts at the dartboard. And yeah, I mean, there's also in general, there's like still some level of the speculative aspect here, right? Like if you're super bullish on Top Shot and All Day and the Own the Moment analytics platform, and you think that 6-12 months from now, there's going to be more people that are coming into the space and want to use the OTM tools, the best way for them to be able to do that is going to be through a Joker. And, you know, when they're sold out, the only way that they'll be able to do it is by buying it from one of the existing holders. So, you know, there's certainly an aspect there from a speculative standpoint. But yeah, I'd say that's
some good questions in the chat.
Great question.
Yeah, some good stuff. I actually, you know, I thought for a little while we had lost our touch. We hadn't seen them in a while since we took a few days off. So glad they're back. Fenny, though, with an actual question, the entries attached to the holder too, right? So like, say I mint 3, or let's just say mint 1. Let's just say mint 1. Mint 1, I enter my best ball contest, and then I don't know, I decide jokers make me uncomfortable. And I sell my joker and someone buys it. Do they now have that entry into the best ball tournament?
No, the best ball is tied specifically to the minter. So it's strictly, so this first one is strictly a mint incentive. Yeah. Right. So essentially what we will do is just do a download of all of the wallet addresses or all of the jokers that were minted, the wallet address associated with the joker minted. Yeah. And then people will be able to claim their packs accordingly. Yeah. So we'll basically have 3 lists of wallets and then be dropping in the different packs that can be claimed. And then there's the secondary marketplace aspect still exists there too, right? So you get the pack, you get to create the lineup and mint the lineup, but then you could sell it on secondary from there, just like you could with a regular best ball lineup.
Also, Jonathan clearly just got here. He says, sounds way more complicated than just playing DraftKings Sell Me. Jonathan, go back to the beginning where we explained the fantasy stuff. Because like right now, we're not even talking about the fantasy stuff. But go back to the beginning, Jonathan. We explained how all of those different games individually. We went through every single fucking way you could play fantasy sports with TOC and broke it down. And then we got here. So wake up earlier, start the show on time, Johnny boy, and you'll be caught up. You'll be caught up. But yeah, we explained both best ball and it's easier than DraftKings because you're not picking individual players, you're just picking teams. So go ahead, go back, Jonathan. But yeah, so talk to and we love Jonathan. I know people are saying get him. We do love Jonathan, but you know, Jonathan, you got to show up on time, man. Is there anything else that we like missed talking about the Joker? I wanted to make sure I know mint dates coming soon. August, I feel like it's just gonna be very busy for you boys.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. So the first thing I would say is pre-orders. So for the mint, we're running a pre-order system. So starting on this Friday, you'll be able to basically get on the list to be eligible to be the first people to mint jokers. So there's 2 ways that you can get on the pre-order list. The first way is by burning a TOC card. So starting on Friday, there will be a page on the site where you're going to go in, you're going to select one of your cards that you want to burn. You're going to add your Top Shot / All Day username, your Dapper username, which then gets us your Flow address, Flow wallet. Okay. And then that gets you on the list. And then once the pre-mint for that or pre-order for that mint opens, you'll be able to go in, connect your wallet. We'll identify that you're on the list. And then you can mint up to 3 Jolly Jokers for that pre-order. And then the second version of the pre-order is sending 5 NBA Top Shot moments to the Jolly Jokers community wallet. Then that also gets you on a separate pre-order list where you can again mint up to 3. So if you do both of those, you can mint up to 6 Jolly Jokers, which again, you can see it kind of aligning to that 1, 3, 6 for the best ball mint incentive. So trying to make that kind of aligning incentives across there.
Can we talk?
So that'll be opening on Friday.
One more. That's this Friday. So that's this Friday. That's what, the 23rd, 22nd. The other thing I wanted to talk about, we can wrap with this too. So I know we mentioned the community aspect of it, right? So there's sub communities within this. And I think right now it's teased out a little bit, right? Maybe something's coming. Looks rare. can you expand a little bit more about what the community connection of this will look like?
For the community partners?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna
So
say
yeah.
partners.
So how the community partners works is that when you go to Mint, there will be a drop down where you select which community you want to essentially tie your wallet to.
Mhm.
So you can go in, you select team hold in the drop down, you mint your 6 jokers because everyone's minting 6, of course.
That's right. That's
and,
right.
and then how it works from there is that the community, their wallet gets 10% of the minting fees and then also gets 50% of secondary royalties
Wow.
from that wallet. And so then that will go directly into the team hold wallet. And then Mike and his team can kind of use it to reinvest in the team hold community however they see fit. We're kind of asking that communities are yeah, exactly, like transparent about how they're using those funds. But yeah, it just creates kind of a fun way for people to show support to their favorite communities. It also, provides good incentives between us and people like yourself to like kind of push it and market it to your communities. And then from there, the idea of like the cross community competitions and, see if Team Hold can continue smoking everyone in every content.
If we thought about this more too, I feel like I'm thinking of like Boards to Buckets, how they created their own like Top Shot handle. They have like their own Dapper wallet. And I feel like it would be kind of fun if like Team Hold got themselves their own Joker, submitted their right. So like and they submitted their own like best ball. So that way, like, and when the funds do come in, it's like, oh, well, now we're, like we're building our own account together as a group. But that's going to be a lot of work in 48 hours. So that's an idea for teams that already have those.
That's great. And like, also in the future, right? And this is definitely not coming anytime in the short term, but like I love the idea of like private contests for communities and things like that, right? So like imagine if you could just go to TOC and Team Hold as a community could like buy a deck of TOC cards for your community, and then you play in private contests, and like there's no contest on our platform, but you guys are handling it however you want offline. Like that's also very much stuff that we are looking to build towards, because that would be super fun.
We've already started doing that too last year, where we were doing basically just like screenshot your lineup and whoever has the highest scoring contest in like the main event, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. TJ, thanks so much, man, for doing this. I'm excited. We'll definitely have you back on as we get closer to the football season to talk more about Rumble and all day specifically. So we'll have a good time with that. And I always appreciate how supportive you guys have been of everything we're doing here. So thank you for that. And Dominic too, I'll answer this, is the Mint on float. It's all done through your Dapper wallet, baby. That's it. So, and that's including TOC now too, which is very exciting. I think that was some, you guys probably already announced it, but for me, that was an alpha drop right there. But yeah, man, thanks so much for coming on. We'll have to do this again soon.
Sure thing. Yeah. Thanks as always for having me, Mike. Thanks everyone for listening, and join the Jolly Joker Discord. We can answer any questions in there.
Let me share I'll share the link too. I'll share the link in there. And then I'll get you out of here. Yeah. So I'm going to share the link to the Jolly Jokers Discord. Go in there. You're legally required to select Team Hold in the community select. So make sure you do that. But yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Later, TJ. Dude, shout out TJ and OTM again for all the work they've been doing. So again, Friday, that's when they're going to do the pre-mint. So get in over there if that's your thing. Obviously not financial advice. Okay. But again, I do think like if you were planning on doing the OTM premium, that's like the only sell job you need. For content for the rest of the week, we're going to wrap here in a second because Bandy needs to get a haircut. I got to take him over there. So check out Watch Her Work from last night. Watch Her Work was that they had a guest, Aaliyah Bain, I believe, from the Phoenix Mercury, and they talked about what's all the chaos that's going on with Phoenix. Which has been a lot of drama. It's been fun. Actually, Jeb Bush did a little stream on his show with his dad last night talking about Vegas. So go check that out. We were on Club Top Shot last night as well. So if that's something you're into. And then tomorrow, we've got the morning marketplace. And then Friday, we have the UFC show in the morning, followed by a happy hour. I think that covers it, guys. You can still hear it in my voice. We're still in recovery mode. We're not there yet. And as John Jones gets here, we're all leaving. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Good luck out there in the streets. We are out.
Well, the top shot streets are